Deion Sanders is bringing back traditional masculinity. I've been watching him closely, and it's not because he recently upset TCU. I've been watching since Jackson State and how he's operated. And he's been operating in a very traditional masculine way. And that is a very rare thing in this feminized society. So I'm going to break down all the ways that he is bringing back traditional masculinity in front of you, where there's a camera, right? Because don't get me wrong, there's other coaches that are doing these same things, but they don't get the limelight or the shine that Deion gets. So before we get too far into the video, hit the like button, comment your thoughts below, subscribe to the channel. If you want to support the channel, all the ways you can support the channel are in the description below. So let's look at Deion in his personal life. He talked about he wants his quarterbacks to come from intact family units. That means a lot to him, and it makes a ton of sense. I made a video about this, in a matter of fact. If you guys want to check that out, if I remember, I'll link it to the top right. But he's talked about he wants quarterbacks and some of his key positions on the team to have intact family units. They tend to be more logical, they tend to be more disciplined because there is a father in the home. Single mother raised athletes tend to be more emotional, uncoachable. They don't take the constructive criticism very well. He's married to Tracy Edmonds. And if he's not married, he's engaged to her. So he's intact. He has a wife. His first wife divorced him or something like that. That was whenever he was in the league. And he's in his kids' life. Matter of fact, not only is he in his kids' life, he's coached them and he's funded them and he's given them a job. His oldest works for him. His two youngest one, the middle one and the youngest one are playing currently on the team. So he's employing them and giving them opportunities, and he's using his status to get Shador contacts with Tom Brady to get the best training he can to maximize his potential. So Deion is cultivating a very traditional way, not only just with the team, but in his own life. Very God-driven guy. He talks about God and being blessed and how he has so much faith, right? Very traditional, masculine, conservative man. Now, let's get into the masculinity part, right? Now, some of this stuff, if you're not privy to how men operate, I'm going to break down why. So I got 3 reasons or 3 things that I've noticed that indicates he is bringing back traditional masculinity. The first thing, he's directly confrontational. Men are very straightforward thinkers. If you have a problem with a situation, you address it head on. When they beat TCU, he directly confronted that reporter that wrote all that bad stuff about him. Right, and the reporter refused to listen to him, and he just simply ignored his question. He's like, next question, right? Which is another lesson by itself. Guys, pay attention to what I'm about to say. Know where you rank in the hierarchy. A reporter has no bearings on a college Division I head coach, let alone a Hall of Fame NFL player, right? Know where you rank in the hierarchy. If you are lower, you can't talk shit to a guy that's higher than you. Now, you can have an opinion. You can voice your opinion. But that doesn't work in the hierarchy. And if you operate like that, you're going to be in a world of trouble, because in the hierarchy you're supposed to move up in that position. That doesn't make any sense, to be in a top position and you let a lower person talk mess to you. That doesn't make any sense, right? He's directly confrontational with the players. And he literally said in an interview with Joel Klatt, the 20 players that he brought in that were in skill positions, he clearly told and sat down 20 of the Colorado players that were in those current positions. He said, hey, you probably should transfer, because you're not going to play. These are 5-star athletes on my other team that are coming with me. And he openly said the other players that left just quit, which is probably more closer to the truth than anything. But anyway, it doesn't matter, because he said publicly, and there's video evidence of this, of him being directly confrontational. Men, we aren't passive aggressive. If you have a problem with the man or how something is going on, or if you have a question, you ask it directly. When you do passive aggressive stuff, you're acting like a woman. He's instilling discipline, and how as a man you have to take everything, as far as like you have to work for everything. Nothing is just given to you. There was when he first started, there was a presentation he was having, and he told, hey, you're going to earn your numbers, right? And the best players get to choose their numbers, whatever those numbers might be. And that's how it's supposed to go. The best players have the pick of the litter, and you outwork the people in your position to get the starting position, to get the starting number. You work for everything as a man. Nothing is ever given to you. You have to be more successful, mean producing more productive results in order to get moved up. That's how it works in the world of men. He's bringing back tribalism. Now, tribalism never really left, but a lot of men don't understand these terms I'm talking about. So he doesn't ever tolerate any disrespect to his team or to him. And it makes perfect sense, because he's the leader and the head coach of the team. You don't let anybody disrespect your team. That's your tribe. That's your people. You stand with them. You ride or die. Win, lose, maybe. Solid. Which brings me to our next thing. There was a clip on Instagram where they had a fight. Colorado had a fight. The offense and the defense were going in at each other, and they had a physical altercation. And so as those, I want to say 5 to 10 players were fighting it out and being confrontational and doing what men do, there was a percentage of offensive and defensive guys that just ran off the field instead of getting involved in the fight. Now, if you don't understand the way of men, you're going to say, hey, the guys that ran off the field are right. In the world of men, those men are wrong. Those men get called for treason. You fight for your group. And in that scenario, the tribalism was the offense versus the defense. The offensive players are supposed to stand up for the offensive players, and the defensive players are supposed to stand up for the defensive players. If you guys look at the altercation between the offensive line and defensive line of the Cowboys, where Michael Parsons, all of them had a fight, had a falling out. That's all that is. The offensive lineman pushed down the defensive lineman. And so the next play, Michael Parsons hit a low blow on the offensive lineman, just trying to even the score, because he's standing up for his group. Tribalism. You stand for your group, win, lose, maybe. Even if he's wrong, right? You stand with him. And after that altercation, after that fight, you pull that guy to the side and you're like, hey, bro, what the hell are you doing? You putting the group at risk for making stupid decisions. If you keep making stupid decisions, we're going to have to demote you in the hierarchy. We're going to have to punish you for your actions because you're putting the whole group in jeopardy. And you do that behind closed doors. So in conclusion, we need more men like this to think like this outside of sports, right? Deion is only touching the men that are talented. The talented athletes among us, he's giving them the right information. He's teaching them how the world works. He's giving them discipline, a way to operate in life. There was a lecture recently where he was just in coveralls. And he talked about how one of his uncles just instilled in him just to work and be good at your work and be prideful about your work. Men need to be more prideful in how they view things. Stop caring about what women think. Hypergamy, all that shit doesn't matter once you're a man of purpose, once you're a successful man. All that female tactics and all that stuff tends to go away once you become successful. And I've talked about this in another video. You guys got to stop worrying about what women are doing. And to be truthfully honest, it's more interesting being a man and doing what we have to do to be good and cultivate good men and organize than it is to worry about what women are doing. Women are so caught up in drama and chaos and being spontaneous. They don't understand how discipline and how you have to work in order to be successful. Taking pride in who you are, taking pride in your team, taking pride in how your reputation is garnished when it comes to other people. This is what men and manhood and masculinity has always been about. Always been about it. And don't get me wrong, Deion ain't the only coach that believes in this. Nick Saban believes in this. All the successful coaches believe in this, and they have this framework. It's just recently where we can see an up close camera, because Deion is so open to the camera and posting his social medias and stuff, that we have access and can actually see that he's living his life like this way. So that's my video. I need you guys to like, comment, subscribe on your way out. You guys have a good day, a good week, and we'll see you in the next one, man. Peace.